Hey YouTubers, it's Sarah, or Less of Sarah. I thought I would make a couple videos today. There was a few tags and things that I kind of wanted to get in on. This week I guess is going to be chock full of videos because I'm doing a video tomorrow because tomorrow is my 2-month surgiversary. And then I'll also be doing my weekly update on Friday, so hopefully you guys don't get sick of seeing me this week. The first thing I wanted to do was something that I've seen quite a few people that I subscribe to doing. Most of them are pre-op, but I thought I would do it as well and just get in on it because, yeah, I'm still fat. So basically it was 10 things I'm not going to miss about being overweight. And obviously I'm still overweight, so I think I can still get in on that one for sure. I guess for me, it's more like 10 things I'm not going to miss about being morbidly obese or super morbidly obese because I think I'm always going to be overweight to some degree, according to doctors' charts or society's view or whatever. I'm okay with that. That's nothing new in my life. So yeah, I'd like to think of it as things I won't miss about being morbidly obese. I apologize. I had to put them on my phone so I would remember what I actually wanted to say. They're not in like any particular order, just stuff that I will be happy to not have to deal with anymore. So the first one is seatbelt extenders. Mostly on planes, but also, there are friends of mine who I couldn't wear the seatbelt in their cars. If they were giving me a ride, I had to not wear my seatbelt. Not really safe, not fun, but what you gonna do? I think that problem has actually mostly solved itself at this point, just with the weight loss I've had, but still. But the airline seatbelt extender thing, it's a big deal. And to go along with that is just the hassle of flying in general when you're overweight. For probably 5 or 6 years, I've had to buy 2 seats. Whether that was the airline forcing me to, whether that was just me wanting to for comfort, I've had to buy 2 seats. And we travel a fair amount, so it's pretty expensive. I'll be happy when that's over. The seatbelt extender thing, to be honest, I've had to wear a seatbelt extender for 10 years plus. And in that time, I've traveled quite a bit. My husband and I lived in Australia during that time. We travel multiple times a year, so I can't even count the number of times I've had to ask for a seatbelt extender. It doesn't faze me at all in the least anymore. I just do it. It's funny because the flight attendants are usually very discreet and they'll hand it to you and they want to speak in hushed tones. And I'm just kind of like, hey, can I get a seatbelt extender over here? I'm not really embarrassed by it, to be honest, but I would like to not have to deal with it. Truthfully. Yeah. Looking forward to not having that issue. Going along with that, the sort of not fitting in thing, not fitting in seats, chairs, booths at restaurants, whatever it is. I know a lot of people mention that one, and that's a big one for me, obviously. Being really large, it's always a problem. It's always a problem. It has gotten to the point that I try to avoid certain restaurant situations, so I usually ask for a table. If people are like, let's eat outside, I'm like, no, I'd rather not. It's not because I don't like eating outside. It's because some restaurants have really rickety patio furniture that I'm afraid I will not hold my weight. Or for some reason it seems like outdoor furniture is just really narrow. And so I can't tell you the number of times I have been at a restaurant or wherever it was and had to sit in a chair and be in pain. And I don't just mean uncomfortable. I mean in pain, where the chair is digging into my thighs and I go home and I have bruises up and down my legs for weeks. That's not something that anybody should have to go through. It really isn't. And that's a big deal. And I notice even now that I'm fitting in better, but it's still an issue. It's still an issue. And is this chair going to hold my weight thing is an issue. I don't like going to people's houses in the summer because if they're having a barbecue or whatever and I have to sit outside in a plastic chair, oh, please, no. I'll just stand. Thanks. And that's been that way for ever, I can't imagine or remember a time when I wasn't concerned about it. Now I'm really concerned about it. And so everything is just anxiety. About going new places or dealing with furniture. I mean, furniture anxiety? Come on. I'll be happy to be rid of that. Sweating. Girls, men. I don't know about y'all. I sweat like a pig. Like a pig. I don't even know if a pig sweats as much as I do. Now, I'll be honest and say that I don't think that's all having to do with being overweight. Everyone in my family sweats a lot. And not everyone is like really overweight. So I think part of that is just some people are sweaters. In my family, we're sweaters. In the summer when it's humid, I can sweat just sitting there doing nothing. I sweat when there's air conditioning. I'm a sweater. The one thing I will say is that I've noticed now I actually sweat a whole lot less. I don't know if that's because my general body temperature is lower, so I don't have as many calories, because I feel colder all the time. I don't know what it is, but I sweat less even when I'm exerting myself. In situations where I normally get sweaty, I haven't been sweating. So hopefully, again, that's something that's starting to improve. But yeah, the sweating, especially in the summer, totally gross. Totally gross. I don't mind sweating when I'm exerting myself, but sweating from doing nothing, really gross. And then the rashes. Anybody who's overweight, and unfortunately, this won't necessarily stop after I lose weight because excess skin, folds, same thing. But heat rash and that sort of thing all over the place, not a good look. Really uncomfortable. Not looking forward to dealing with that, moving forward, I'll still be dealing with it, but hopefully that will eventually stop once I have plastic surgery. Pain, fatigue, lack of energy, all of those things from being so overweight, from taxing my body. I've said before, I'm like a super big boned girl. I have a very large frame, very large. And my bone mass is crazy huge. So I have much less problems, to be honest, than most people would. Even at 460 pounds, it didn't really impair my my mobility or my ability to do most things. I didn't have problems walking. I didn't have any issues. But any little nagging pain or injury that I had was magnified by the fact that I was 460 pounds. And no matter how big my frame is, it's still hard to carry around that much weight. And it also made me really fatigued all the time. Zero energy to do anything. And that just sort of reinforces that thing of like, oh, well, she's just lazy and she doesn't want to do whatever. It's not that. It's not a lack of wanting to do things. It's a lack of wanting to be in that situation where you are just exhausted after, whatever, 10 or 15 minutes of doing something. That sucks. And I will be very happy when that is not an issue. Again, that's something that's improved. I do have more energy. The other day I ran up the stairs. What? I'll tell you, I don't run anywhere, ever. I don't like running. I'm not one of those people that you will see on YouTube that's like, I'm going to lose weight and be a runner. Not me. Not interested. But I ran up the stairs. Who knew? Ooh, clothes. I'm not going to miss. I actually don't mind big girl clothes. I like to think that, I like to look good. I like to buy nice clothes. I like to think that I can find things that look good. But I hate always having to adjust my clothes. Like every time I get up, I'm trying to like move things around or adjust my pants to, hide this or cover that or, yeah. I just don't want to deal with that anymore. I want to be able to wear clothes and not be constantly pulling things down or hiking them up or trying to make myself look, okay in my clothes. I just want to look all right. So hopefully that's something that'll change too. Personal space. I'm sure everyone can relate to this, but I hate having to sit next to people because I know they hate having to sit next to me. And I know that sounds bad, but it's true. I know it's true. I'm going to be honest. People are judgmental and rude. And I don't like invading other people's personal space any more than they enjoy me doing it. So I try and avoid it. And it's something that, again, I have anxiety about. I don't, when I go into the waiting room and it's full, I get that feeling because I know that I have to sit next to someone in a chair that I probably won't fit in it. And it sucks. Public transportation, don't take it very often, but it sucks. Pretty much anywhere that I have to sit next to a stranger makes me really anxious, and I don't want to have to deal with that anymore. So I won't be sad when that doesn't happen. People's judgments in general, obviously, I have a really thick skin at this point. I've been overweight my whole life, and not just a little. So I have a really thick skin when it comes to stuff, but I'm just tired of being the object of people's judgment. I'm tired of people not seeing me for who I am because they're too busy being disgusted by how fat I am. I'm tired of it. I'm done. I'm out. I don't really care in the sense that someone who isn't willing to see past that isn't someone that I need to devote any time to. But it would be nice to just not always be the object of people's judgment. So that'll be cool. All the things I can't do. There's so many things that I can't do. I can't go bungee jumping. I can't go skydiving. I can't go parasailing. I'm too fat. All these things have weight limits, and I'm too fat for all of them. And okay, bungee jumping, yeah, all right, I probably wouldn't do that. But, parasailing, I would do that. There's a lot of things that I can't do, physically cannot do. Go on rides at amusement parks. I don't fit. Just plain and simple. I do not fit. I cannot go. So all that stuff, just fitting into society like a normal person, I will be very happy when I no longer have to worry about that stuff, about my weight being a barrier to things I can do. Hunger. Yeah, this is a big one. And I think that people don't realize that the more overweight you are, the more calories you need, the hungrier you are, the harder it is to diet. And before my surgery, I was hungry pretty much constantly. Unless I was disgustingly full, I never really felt satisfied. And even then, I wasn't really satisfied. I was just grossly full. I've said before that I think somehow the part of my brain that registers the fact that I'm full is broken. I don't think that it works because I just didn't know what that was. After surgery, the hunger is pretty much gone. I don't have that traditional kind of hunger that you think of, but I do have that signal that I need to eat. That's okay with me. I could deal with that. The hunger, the cravings, those aren't there right now. I know that they'll come back, but right now I'm blissfully free of those things, and I will be happy, when hopefully I'm at goal, and even though I'll still have hunger, it's not going to be that constant, all-consuming hunger that I used to have. So yeah, that'll be good too. Very last thing, and I've kind of mentioned it a few times, but I wanted to mention it separately, is just the anxiety of being overweight. Sorry, I just had to move because my leg was falling asleep. Another thing I won't miss. The anxiety of being overweight. The anxiety of having to deal with everyday situations that people who are normal don't have to deal with. Am I going to fit in this seat? Am I going to break this chair with my fat ass? Just straight up. Is this person going to be revolted that I'm sitting beside them? Just everything. I don't think that people who aren't overweight or significantly overweight can understand what it's like to go through every day as a morbidly obese person. I don't think they understand. I think it's similar to, and I'm not comparing the two, okay, but I think it's similar to people who have a disability. I think that normal, quote unquote, able people don't understand what their lives are like, what the challenges and the barriers are for them. They just don't get it. And I think it's the same thing, in a sense, with people who are not overweight. I don't think they understand. I don't know. I don't think they get it. I don't think they understand the anxiety and the... I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, but having to always be thinking, am I too fat for this? Will I fit here? Can I do this? How is this going to look? How long can I do this for? Can I go to this place with my friends? Am I going to embarrass myself? Are they going to be embarrassed of me? Are my kids embarrassed? Do their friends tease them? All that stuff. All that stuff that goes through your head every day. And it's not because you're making it up. It's because that is real life. That is what society is like. That is what's happening. I will be so grateful to be rid of that. Absolute. Even though this list wasn't in order, that's the absolute number one thing. I will be grateful when I can get out of bed in the morning, go about my everyday life, and not have anxiety or fear or shame or issues about what I can or can't do, where I fit and where I don't fit, about my weight, my size. So yeah, those are the 10 things that I'm not going to miss about being morbidly obese. So this video is super long, so if you got this far, congratulations. I'm going to make another video on another tag that I saw this week. So I'll catch you guys in a few.